Do, 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 do. Hi girls, I decided to do this duration review for you before your oral exam to help you do a little bit of revision about duration. So duration is fast and slow. We're looking at rhythms. We're looking at how if those rhythms are using long notes or short notes. Do they use staccatos? And one of the first things that we look at is time signatures. And as you'll see here, I've got written 4/4, 2/4, 3/4, and an unusual one, 5/4. We're going to be looking at those. There are lots of other time signatures as well, but I'm going to start off with those to begin with. So 2/4 time is where you have 2 beats in a bar, and both of those beats have equal emphasis. So let's have a listen to this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's a good example of 2/4 time. It's also 2/4 time is a lot quicker in feel when you're listening to it. Triple time, this example here by Taylor Swift, is when you have 3 beats in a bar. And the first beat, I should say, is usually the accented one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's one way you can listen to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and down here, most rock songs are in 4/4 time, and they use what they call a backbeat, and that's when the second beat and the fourth beat are accented on the snare drum, and this little video explains it. I'll just fast forward it a bit until we get to, here we go. So
okay, we're in 4/4 or common time. So we're going to play the bass drum on quarter note beats 1 and 3 and the snare on quarter note beats 2 and 4. So we're playing all 4 quarter notes broken up in between the foot and snare drum. So we're going to get 4 beats on the click and then we're in. Here we go.
One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that backbeat is on from the snare. The emphasis on 2 and 4, but that's in 4/4 time as well. And then of course you can get really unusual time signatures. I think I've got one here to show you. I'll show you this one. This one is in 5/4 time. It's a jazz piece, but when you're counting it, you count up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a jazz piece. A famous one called Take 5. That's in 5/4 time. Speaking about jazz, another thing, and as you'll see on here, swing feel. In jazz music, sometimes we hear, not all jazz music, but in some, they use a feel called swing, where they swing the beat. It was actually a particular style of jazz in about the 1930s, and what it does is it's where they you hear it a lot with the drummer, but it's where something is written in 4/4 time, but someone else is playing a triplet feel over the 4/4 time, and that's what kind of like swings then the beat. So I've got an example here for you if you listen to these guys. So what he's playing on the crash is triplets. Even when she's playing on the saxophone, she is swinging the melody. Okay, it's got kind of like a triplet feel used in there. Lots of triplet feels, and that gives you that swing feel. Okay, rests are really important, and it's really important that you notice them and comment on them in your answer. We have that really famous piece of music for the film Jaws, the Jaws theme. So whenever you have silences in music or rests, that's part of duration as well, because no one's playing. So hear those stabbings, so there'll be rests in between, and they're really staccato, so they're short. Okay, so you explain that as well in duration if that was in your answer. Ostinatos. Ostinatos is when you have a rhythm that is played continuously in a piece of music. We've got an example here by Ravel, and the name of the piece is Bolero. And at the beginning, you'll hear someone playing the ostinato rhythm on some drums, and it just keeps continuing all the way through the song. So here it is, you can hear the ostinato. Ostinatos, if you get a question asking about unity, if there is an ostinato in the piece, it's a great way of unifying a piece, keeping it all together no matter what other instruments are doing. Okay. Polyrhythms. Polyrhythms is when you have two different rhythms or more playing at the same time. Yes, definitely this Ricky Martin one would have it. Let's have a listen to this. This one also has a lot of syncopation as well. But you've got a lot of different rhythms playing at the same time. There, just in that beginning bit, you've got you've got a lot of different percussion. You've got the piano. You've got the trumpets. Got a whistle you can hear. So that makes it really polyphonic. Also too, because it's Latin American music, they use a lot of accents and syncopation, and they accent a lot of notes on off beats on a syncopated beat. And a syncopated beat is when you emphasize something like an N beat. So one and two and that's what makes you want to dance to it. Okay. They have lots of dotted rhythms in there, followed by quick notes, and they're all syncopated. So I just keep playing it. All right. Excuse me. Last couple of things. Sometimes a piece of music might change in tempo. It might begin fast and then slow down. Might slow down and then get fast. So be aware of that. And the last thing is rubato. Rubato is when you're playing kind of like your own time. a lot of soloists tend to use rubato if they're not playing with any other instrument. So he's someone here who uses rubato. So he slows down and fastens up. And it's only slightly, but it's not to a particular tempo. Okay, that's where rubato happens. Sometimes it happens before a piece actually starts. Sometimes it happens, usually it's with a soloist because they're the person who's controlling the tempo of it. Anyway, I need to go and get a drink of water. That's a couple of, that's a few things to help review about duration. I hope this is helpful for you.